Hello, welcome to the SJSU workshop at the art building. Today, I'm going to be your instructor and I'm going to teach you how to use the shopbot desktop Max. As you can see here, we have these doors and we have the contents. We have here some additional bits. We already have a bit installed, a 1/4 bit. You can see like the different kinds. There's different bits for different cuts. And these are the ones that came from the machine. And in a future tutorial, I'll show you how to change the bits. We're gonna find these elements here. We're gonna call this the zero plate, and this is what's gonna allow us to measure the zero level of our material. This one is the foot for the vacuum cleaner. We have our tools for changing the bit and the collets. And we have the clamps to hold down the material. Okay, so now let's take a closer look to our router. The router is controlled by stepper motors that we can observe here. We're going to have a total of 3 stepper motors for each axis. This one is going to have one from the x-axis, one from the y-axis, and one from the z-axis, which is going to bring in the bit up and down, as you can see here. So this is like our bit. Our next step is going to be to mount the material onto the wasteboard, which is this MDF that you see over. So first off, I'm gonna use a caliper. This is a digital caliper that I got from the room at the wood shop. And I'm gonna turn it on, and we have this machine set up in the inches system. So I just went ahead and put it under inches. And then I'm gonna measure the thickness of my material. Okay, so the thickness of this material is 0.7111. So I'm actually like recording the 3 decimal points. So I'm gonna go ahead and record this and write it down on a piece of paper. Or even like you can write it down on the piece of wood itself. 0.7115. If you're using only 1 decimal point, that's not gonna be enough. We need like higher precision at this level. So I would recommend using 3 or at least 2 decimal points. Okay, so I'm gonna load up the material. This one is the biggest material we can use in this machine. This is a 2x3 sheet. Okay, carefully loading the material into the box. Swing it over. And then I'm going to align my material. I want to be precise on where I put this. Roughly my 0.00 is going to be the bottom left corner, just like the Cartesian coordinate system, my 0, 0. And I'm going to increment on the x-axis in this direction, and then on the y-axis I'm going to be incremented on this direction. So I'm going to like center the bottom left corner of my material, which is my origin, to the corner. And I want to make sure that like my material is aligned with the wasteboard. Now I'm going to proceed to clamp down the material into the machine. So we have like these clamps, and the way they work is that there's this T-rail will fit, and I'm gonna go here all the way to the corner, and you're gonna use these washers and these wing nut to like open it. You can actually use the other screw. You want to like raise it up because you want them to be parallel to each other. So once you have it like that, you can tighten your wing nuts. Just like making it like pretty tight. Okay. And then I'm going to proceed to do this in all the four corners of my material. Okay, so here we have our laptop that we're gonna use for this project, and we're gonna connect the laptop to the power. Using the provided power supply. There's an open outlet here for it. I'm gonna give it power because we cannot afford to lose our batteries while we're making a cut, because that would stop the whole process. Then on the other end, we have a regular USB cable, and we're just gonna like hook it up to the side. And we're gonna go ahead and hit the switch button. At this point, you will notice that the motor is engaged. There's gonna be some lights that you can see on this side. You're gonna click here on the big button that says sign in, no password, because this is the computer that you're gonna be needing to check out for your cuts. You will also notice that in this area, this is our motor, has the LED with a message that says stop has shown up. Okay, so here we are in our shopbot PC. We're gonna be using two softwares. One of them is the control of the machine, shopbot 3. And in this first step, we're going to calibrate the X, Y, and Z parameters in our machine. So you're gonna notice when you open this software that you have a command console window and a position window. This red window is going to be your controller for everything CNC related. To be able to control the CNC router, once you're connected, it will detect that there's no messages. So it will connect to the machine, and then we have these arrow keys, and you should set up the computer in the same coordinate system as I have in my images. So like you're gonna notice, that if I move, I can displace to the right on the different axes. I'm gonna be able to move all the way to the other side, where I will be able to measure and also secure my bottom corner. Okay, so I'm gonna like leave it at there. Okay, so in this particular case, I have secured with a screw and a screwdriver, with a drill, to secure the material. And I'm gonna make sure that when I lay out my artwork, I am not hitting that screw. So I'm about like 1 inch over. So I want to make sure that my artwork does not touch any of the clamps or the screws. My next step is going to do a zero to tell what is the zero surface for this material. And here's where we're going to use the zero plate. So I'm going to show you that there is a clamp. There is also this element that will give power. There's only one way that it will connect to the zero plate. So make sure that these lines, like the side that has like little like stripy sides, is outside. Otherwise you're not gonna have a connection. It actually like fits like very nicely, and to like take it out you're gonna push these connectors. So what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna proceed to putting the zero in, and then I have this clamp. It looks like a car battery jumper, and I'm going to attach this to the base of the collet, like this. Okay, so we can go ahead and close our controller. I call it the Game Boy. You can just close with the keypad. And now I'm going to do a 0, 0 for the Z axis. So I'm going to press once on that icon. And then it says hit enter when above plate and ready to 0. I'm going to click OK or press enter. It's going to make that noise. And then it's going to take 2 measurements at the same time. And now it has been calibrated for 0, 0. And then you're going to click and say OK. As an additional step, you will need to put the footing for the vacuum cleaner. So I'm gonna move this up. We're gonna have to zero it out again on the Z-axis, but I did want to show you where everything attaches to. I'm gonna put in the foot. This is gonna have some magnets that attach to the shape, very snug. And then now through the bristles, I'm going to connect to the collet. So that's why I showed you the other part of the video without the footing, because it's a little hard to see. But you're gonna be able to attach there to the collet. Okay, it's right there. I'm gonna put my bit right underneath. And now I'm gonna go ahead and close it out here. And then I'm gonna do a 0 Z again because I changed my Z position. So I have to take that measure again. But this time I have the vacuum footing. Okay, so it's all zeroed out. I can go ahead and take away the plate. I'm gonna disconnect it and also disconnect the clip. And now I'm gonna put it away. And then my next step is going to tell the machine what the 0, 0 is. So I'm gonna click in this icon that says X and Y. and this would automatically recalibrate itself to the 0.00 based on the limiter switches that it has on the corners. So I'm clicking, you're gonna hear that noise, and the machine will move accordingly all the way to the 0, 0 position. Okay, perfect. So I can say okay. And our machine is ready to cut. Thank you for watching.